Hey, welcome back. I have the walkthrough open, so you're just supposed to do some stuff, talk to this guy or whatever. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna talk about the Capitol thing. That's fun. I feel like when I first started doing this, I stayed away from political stuff, but now I'm feeling more like, well, come on, talk. I want to be able to talk about it without. There's this idea, well, you're not supposed to talk about politics or religion. That's kind of all I talk about now. Because I want to get good at talking about it. I want to be able to talk about it empathetically and not just emotionally and be like, oh, my position's right all the time and you're stupid. The reason you're not supposed to talk about it is because people care about it, and if people care about it, then it's important, and I should care, and I should want to talk about it. So yesterday, I've been following the election stuff a lot, which I don't usually do. Usually it's just the election's over, and then we'll wait till the inauguration, but it's just been all these little things, because Trump keeps saying oh, wait till the electors vote, and we're gonna have this big court case. And January 6th was pretty much the last day anything crazy would happen. I mean, nothing was gonna happen anyway, but something did happen. And that's pretty much all that could happen, which is overthrow the government. That's the only way Trump could be president. So, first thing I want to talk about, so that I remember while I'm talking about this for the next couple days or whatever. I don't know if there's a word for this, but I'm gonna make one up. These situations, like what's happening right now, they're cognitive dissonance traps. Or tests. And it's kind of nice that I can test my cognitive dissonance. It's like a trap more. Because it's interesting. Because, I don't want to fall into the trap of these political people when they have these arguments. They'll say these dumb things. I have to use my brain, and I have to remember where to go. Talk to him, and he'll make you into a statue to smuggle. Oh. I always do that. I'm they tell you exactly what to do, and I don't read it, and then I just walk away. So this is a cognitive dissonance trap that I fell into, which is... Okay, let me try to explain cognitive dissonance again, just for myself. For me, it's basically when you see something and you have an emotional reaction to it, oh, that's bad. I see the Trump people marching and destroying the Capitol, and I'm oh, that's really bad. That's so bad. These people are terrible. Trump's terrible. That's an emotional reaction. I haven't really thought about it logically yet. So your brain has an emotional reaction, and then later, when you want to argue about it with somebody or whatever, you have to think of logical arguments to back up your emotional reaction. And your brain will kind of automatically jump to really easy arguments, and it wants to defend itself. It doesn't want you to think, oh, you were wrong for having that emotional reaction. You were actually... Because it's your brain. It wants to defend itself. It doesn't want to think, oh, I'm a bad brain because I made you react the wrong way. You shouldn't have been upset about this. So your brain will then, if you don't try to actually stop for a second, your brain, after it'll have that emotional reaction, it'll kind of jump to, well, why did I feel that way? And one of the thought I did have was, well, what are they doing? What's their goal? They're just going to vote again. So what I mean is, like, what are the protesters doing? Why are they doing this? Well, they're just going to vote they're just going to have the election tomorrow, so they're not really doing anything. That's a cognitive dissonance thought that I had, which is your brain trying to rationalize why you had an emotional reaction to something, which is just bad. I don't know, if you want to be a big, maybe, I don't know, just be emotional about stuff, who cares? But I want to be smarter. Yeah, I don't know. When I say that, it sounds like I'm about to say, "Oh, destroying the Capitol was a good thing." But you need to have better arguments than just whatever pops into your head to rationalize your emotions. And this is a long preamble to just, I don't want to fall into those traps, because I see people online, they fall into those traps all the time where they just say this crap and it doesn't really hold water, and it creates these bad arguments where the other side can easily just dismantle it. Well, the thing is that there were these Black Lives Matter protests. So if you start saying things that were said about the Black Lives Matter protests, then it would say, like, "Oh, why are you saying the same thing we said? When don't you like law and order or whatever?" I don't know. Don't you hate policemen or something? And I actually have a record of what I said when the Black Lives Matter stuff happened. So I have an even bigger incentive to fall into a cognitive dissonance trap, because I want to defend those things I said before, right? I don't want to be wrong. My brain doesn't want to be wrong. So it's going to do whatever it can to defend its positions that it's taken already, even if they're kind of dumb. So that kind of implies that, well, the positions I took during the Black Lives Matter protests were dumb, and I think I tried to do a good job with that. I think what I said was, people riot when they have no other recourse to change. And I think that's a good place to start when looking at the similarities between the Black Lives Matter protests and this Capitol thing. I think we can all agree on that. That's why it's a good place to start, right? The Black Lives Matter people rioted because they felt like police were killing them, and for no reason, and they weren't safe, and their kids weren't safe, and politicians weren't doing anything, so they didn't know what to do. And they're like, they were just angry, and that builds up, and then they just break stuff, because what else are you going to do? The Capitol people, I wonder if there's going to be a name for what happened. I don't feel like there is yet. Because it was a pretty monumental thing. The people broke into the Capitol building while it was in session, and I mean, they didn't really know what they were doing, so it wasn't like they went in there to kill the politicians. But I mean, what if politicians were there? Would they have killed them? I don't know. It had only happened once before, where people had broken into the Capitol like that, like a mob, and I guess it was 1814 or something. Okay, this is gonna be a thing. The Capitol people rioted because they had tried all these other things, and Trump wasn't getting elected, and so they had no other recourse to change other than other than to riot. So that's a good place to... Oh, okay, I got it. It didn't seem like I got it, but I got it. Nope. Nope. Okay. Is he coming back? I don't really understand this. Wouldn't it make more sense to just get pecked and oh no, I can't get pecked because he's testing the gold? Is that the idea? I don't understand. But if he... I guess it's kind of like close-up magic, but he would feel it on his beak. The whole point is like he's testing the statues. Okay. Wait, did I mess something up? I think I jumped too soon, maybe. Oh no, he's coming. Nope. Ah, I think I screwed it up. Jump. Okay. Does it say what I should do? I have to fight him, right? Birdo. Simply shatter the egg using physical attacks? What? This is a dodo, not Birdo. He's probably easy. Okay. Did I say anything interesting yet? Let's do the Geno boost. The difference, so the difference is, for me, well, I don't know if I want to say that. The difference for the Democrat side is, well, if people are rioting, that's bad. You have to solve that, right? You don't want your citizens to be rioting. How do we solve... It seems like there's an easier solution to solve the Capitol riots, because all you would have to do is just tell the people the election was fair. We did all these audits and we did all these court cases. We didn't find anything crazy, so that's it. All we would have to do is just get Trump to convince his people that it's over. If you want to fix the Black Lives Matter thing, it's harder because you have to end systemic racism. Really? Oh, okay. I'm out of pick-me-ups. I'm not sure what the other side of the Black Lives Matter argument would be. Like, what would their solution be to the problem? That's the thing. Okay, you have two situations. Black Lives Matter and Capitol riots. Protests, whatever. To solve... And there's two sides to to both of those. So for the Capitol protest, one side is to solve this problem. There are two solutions. Each side has a solution, right? Are you following me? The solution that I fall on is that we need to stop spreading misinformation, and we need to get good information to people, like, oh, what is actually happening in these elections, and are they trustworthy? You gonna pick me. And the other side is saying, what are they saying? They're saying we need to get rid of the electors, and we need to get new electors, I guess, that are gonna certify the vote correctly. I was listening to Ted Cruz, and he was saying basically, well, we just want to do a commission, a 10-day commission to look into what happened. And it's actually, I liked the debate that they were having. Do they usually have debates like this? That are like televised like this? Because I was listening to it and I was like, this is a pretty good debate. I always complain about the stupid presidential debates, but I was like, oh, Ted Cruz, that's not like a bad idea. 10-day commission to assuage the voters. Did I use assuage right? Make them not super worried. And then Mitt Romney was like, there's nothing we can do to convince these people that the election was fair. The only thing we can do is to tell them the truth. They're never going to be convinced. We already had a commission in Georgia do this. And then another lady was like, well, the elections are supposed to be governed by the states. That's what it says in the Constitution. We don't want the federal government to overrule the states. Like, we don't want that. The states run the elections. We don't want the federal government to get into all the elections, so the Senate has no place in changing the electors here. And it was like a good debate, and I was listening to it, and I was like, oh, this is interesting. I wish they would do more debates like that. Did I win? Okay, good. Bowser. Should I be using Bowser more? I have to fight a new boss soon, Birdo. But I don't... It's gonna be bad, because I don't have any mushrooms or anything. Maybe I should try to grind up in my free time. I think that's it for today. Yeah, I think I went way over. Well, whatever. Yeah. Did I talk about it well? I think I'm going to talk about it more tomorrow. And maybe tomorrow I'll get more partisan about it. Oh, I didn't even talk about... Okay, just to finish. I talked about the two things. The second thing is the Black Lives Matter. So the for position for Black Lives Matter is, well, to solve the solution, we need to end systemic racism, fix police problems, that, like, police are inherently biased against black people. And the against, I guess, would say there isn't really a problem. I don't know. It's important that I don't know what the opposition is, and I should. That's not to say that there isn't a good opposition. It's just like, it's never really been presented to me. The only things that have really been presented to me are the things that I already agree with. So that's bad. I guess I would say that these minority communities, there's a lot more crime, so obviously you're going to have a lot more violence against those people. Like, if there's more crime, you need more physical force to stop it, and it's going to happen where just black people are going to get shot because black people live in poorer communities, and poor communities have more crime. So it's just... The only way to solve it is to just... this is a socialist solution, is to give them more money. So I wonder what their solution would be to the problem. If there's riots, there's a problem. There was a problem at the Capitol, and there's a problem with Black Lives Matter. You can't say that there's no problem, and I don't think anybody would. Well, they're just rioting for no reason because they like to break stuff and they want to steal TVs. That's not true. I would never riot because I don't have any reason to riot. You need a reason to riot. Whether it's good or it's bad is whatever, but there is a reason. Okay, is that enough? Enough for today. Bye. See you tomorrow.